So, welcome everybody to the April intuitive reading and shamanic journeying. Sorry, let me just put my glasses back on. Welcome everybody. I hope you've all had a great month of March and that the equinox for you, wherever you are in the world, was magical and helpful for you in bringing yourself back to balance. That's what the equinoxes are all about, finding the balance within Mother Earth and also within ourselves. So that was interesting. And I'm getting a lot of hellos. Hello, Leo from Germany. A lot of hellos from different places around the world. Nice to see you all. We're going to jump in because I think my shamanic journey today is a little bit longer, or I want to give you some time to really melt and really connect with the energies of this shamanic journeying today. So let's dive right in. And I'm going to share screen and we can see what's going on for the month of April. Exciting. There we go. Just wait. Okay. We're all seeing that picture, everybody. Just nod your head if you are. And if you're not, you can shake your head. Nobody's nodding. Or I'm not seeing people nodding. I'm guessing you guys see it. Okay. I'm just going to do that, make it a little easier. Okay. So we are working with the 22 Archangels Oracles by Kyle Gray and the beautiful artwork by Jennifer Hawkyard. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this today. I felt that we needed also the picture too. I felt that we needed some nice light colors, something to be a little bit more light and uplifting for this month. And before I dive deep into working with the archangels today, before I started well, it was just at the beginning of my meditation and going inwards to do this, to prepare this presentation for you today. I got very strongly some messages from spirit that I want to pass on to you. And it really does go into what we are speaking about today as well. And it's a big part of our shamanic journey as well, because when we get these powerful messages coming in and downloads, we have to pay attention. So I'm going to talk. I'm just going to the next page. There's not a lot on it, but it has to do with the theme, the message that I received. It has to do with trust versus distrust. So the message that I received from Spirit was there's a lot of pain in the world right now, a lot of pain. We can see it all over the world. A lot of people, the word I got was just in pain. And we can feel it. We can definitely see it. And it's really affecting all of us, especially all of us intuitives, all of us who are very sensitive, all of us who've been working as light workers since we were born to help shift the energy with humanity here. So this is very overwhelming. And I do know that a lot of us thought coming into 2026, things are going to get better. It's going to get easier. We're going to get to create more and healthy, more balanced, better ways for ourselves and for the world. And it seems to be going the opposite. So this was a really important message that I received. And what Spirit was explaining to me was the wounds of this pain, the root of this pain is to do with trust. And it makes perfect sense. So what we've seen from the beginning of this year is we're seeing, and of course, a lot of us have already knew we had our awakening a long time ago, or we've been going through our steps of awakening. But for a lot of people around the world, this year is a big awakening for them. And so we've had a lot of disclosures. We have the Epstein files that came out. We're seeing things, more wars breaking out that we didn't expect, or maybe we did. depending. Um, but what is happening, which is perfect and in alignment of what needs to happen in this evolution, this progress of evolving and moving out of the lower vibrations and really strengthening and aligning ourselves into the higher vibrations has to do with trust. But there's a deep wounding to trust. And where this wounding came from is really the example of the Epstein files, is that we have we have been programmed and conditioned, the whole world has been programmed and conditioned into believing that we put our trust and faith in somebody else. So as little kids, we put our complete trust and faith into our parents. We put our complete trust and faith into our teachers, into the principals of our schools, into basically like we were trained and programmed into putting our trust into certain authority figures that we were being shown as a child. And so as we grew up, we just continued to do this. But what happened when we were little was we were taught not to trust ourselves. We were taught that trusting ourselves, trusting our intuition, trusting our inner voice was wrong, was bad. We were punished for it. We were told that it was wrong, it wasn't right, and that the truth was these authority figures. So what is happening right now is everybody throughout on this planet is being shown that all these people, though, whether intentionally or not, whether it was conscious or subconscious, we put our trust in all of these authority figures, our leaders, and these people who hold high positions in our financial institutions, our educational institutions, government, just everywhere across the board. Um, there was always some trust, probably at different levels, because as we got older, we did notice like, oh, this doesn't seem right, this doesn't sound right. But we did have complete trust, or a lot of trust into the institutions and ways how of society working in these ways. And now, right now, the majority of the planet is like, wait a minute, I should never have put my trust here. So there's a huge sense of betrayal going on right now. And this betrayal is coming from this deep woundingness from our own trust, from not trusting ourselves, how we were programmed out of it as a little kid. It is a deep wound. It's a deep wound within our psyche, within humanity, the whole planet right now. And this is where this pain is coming from. Because as more and more people wake up and start to pull their trust away from these people, away, these so-called authority figures, away from these institutions, people are feeling very lost, which makes sense because if you put all your trust into this is how life or this world works and realize that wasn't healthy, that wasn't right, where are you? You're in this like limbo state. You're in this place that feels empty. And that's where that feeling, that vibration of feeling lost comes from. So, what are our answers here? What do we need to do? Well, we need to heal the wounds of trust, the betrayals, because the betrayals aren't so much out there. It's more of betraying ourselves, not, standing up and trusting in ourselves from a little kid. So the first step in regaining our trust and trusting ourselves, trusting our inner wisdom, trusting our intuition once more, because that's all our guidance. Even trusting our spiritual team, our spirit guides, our higher self, our guardian angel, our archangels, our ascended masters. We talk a lot about this. Well, we talk completely about this in spirituality, but can we honestly say within us, is there a little bit of not quite completely trusting in them? Most likely, that would be understandable. So, as we move into ourselves to heal this deep wounding, this betrayal of ourselves to do with trust, the first step is we have to forgive ourselves. We have to. That's the first step. And as we allow ourselves to start to forgive ourselves with to do with trust and not trusting ourselves and letting go of the feelings of betrayal, then we can start slowly moving in to gain trust within ourselves to start to feel it. And like I said, we will be doing a shamanic journeying today that hopefully will help you. Whether you're already working with this or maybe you're just starting, will hopefully help you with this process of regaining and strengthening trust within yourselves. And a couple of other points that I want to bring up with this is a situation happened with me recently. I probably starting to get prepared for this. So yeah, thank you, Spirit. But it was a little shaky for me. But just very quickly, so I am, for those of you who have experienced or are experiencing this or may experience this, I am premenopausal. And it's been interesting. It's a new cycle for myself and where I am in life, my physical body for sure. And so the hot flashes, which I'm working on, I'm sort of feeling that a little bit now, um, was aware of that. The brain stuff, not aware of that. The memory, the focus lost. Yeah, interesting. So, and that's really been the last couple of weeks and didn't expect that. Anyways, my situation where I had an issue with my own trust and what happened here. So I was coming home, I was driving, I was coming home, and the lane that I was in was quite backed up because up ahead people were making lefts, or you could go straight. And I was wanting to go straight. And so there was nobody in what I could see in the moment, like right beside me, there was nobody in the right lane. So I was like, oh, I should go in the right lane and I can go straight, no problem. And I was so focused for some reason in front of myself. I didn't check my blind spot or if anybody was coming down the road because, people will zip, will go fast. And of course, I always check. It's just natural that you would do this. But in that moment, my mind just, yeah, no, that didn't exist for me. It was like, fine, just move over and go. Nobody was hurt, everybody. It was all fine. Nobody really was coming, thank God. And I moved right over and continued down. And then, of course, I look in my rear view mirror and it hit me. I'm like, I didn't check. I didn't look, it didn't even come into my head to check. And when I got home, I was a little shaky because it wasn't that nothing happened. Thank God nothing happened. It was more that like my mind just was just blanked or just wasn't thinking or I don't know. And yeah, I can make excuses for it, but anyways, I got home and I was feeling a bit upset about it. And then within myself, I could feel my own self being like, well, I have to go out there and drive again. What if this happens again? Like, you start to go into all the mental thing in your mind. And I had to stop myself and be like, okay, I've lost trust with myself here. The situation has caused me to lose trust. So how do I get it back? So immediately it's like, well, I'm more aware of what's going on with me physically and with my brain. I know I have to do something, take certain steps for my brain health, which I'm doing, and to support, my focus and my memory. Um, since I'm more aware of what happened when I go out and drive, I'm going to be more careful. I'm going to be very, very focused. I'm going to go slow down. I'm going to take my time. There's now a stronger awareness. So I was able to bring myself to trust myself again. So it might seem like a little thing, but these situations add up if we stop trusting ourselves, and that's not good. And what I would ask you within your own self, and this will come up within our shamanic journeying, but look at the times where you didn't trust yourself and you trusted others and what happened. Look at the times where you did trust yourself and things worked out well. And then look at the times as well where you trusted yourself, but it didn't work out well, because that is a key point too that we need to look at. And that needs to be healed, because maybe you need to look at, or we all need to look at, where we trusted ourselves, but maybe our own wound, we attracted situations or people where we needed to heal wounds within ourselves. And that it wasn't so much that we can't trust ourselves, we need to trust the process of the healing work we're doing here. And that was an interesting point that came up when I was meditating yesterday, because it's true, I've trusted myself in the past and then things didn't go well. And it's like, well, I trusted in this, why didn't it? And the reason was because I could trust myself. I was just, my spirit was giving me an opportunity to heal and evolve and move out of an energy vibration that was no longer healthy or supportive of myself. So, food for thought, but we're going to work a little bit on this within our shamanic journeying. So this was the big message that I did receive from Spirit. So I hope this helps a lot of you who are feeling and really taking in this pain that is going on around the world, and this feeling of lost and not really understanding where we're going, and thinking maybe things should be better than they are. This is the reason. This is what is coming up within humanity right now to be healed. Because if we don't trust our intuition or our inner guidance, then we can't create a better world. So this is a big, big wound um, in the collective that needs to be focused on this year, it looks like, or at this time anyways. And it starts with us. It starts with us working on this. It starts within ourselves. And then that vibration of what we're working on and strengthening trust goes out to the rest of the world, and it touches on other people. It starts to affect the vibration. It's like the butterfly, that those butterfly wings, they send out that energy, that vibration around the world that touches and affects other people. So then they have the opportunity to also heal and heal this wound and do their work. So I hope this has helped some of you, or given you some insight, clarity, maybe into your own work. We're now going to move into with the Archangels. And again, I've pulled three cards, three Archangels who are working with us today. And again, this theme of trust is really interwoven within the messages of the Archangels, of what they're speaking on, that's going on within ourselves, within our world, and the energy, of course, for April. So let's go to our first one. We have Archangel Hope. So I'll give you just a moment or two to connect yourself with her. See if anything comes up for you. And as we move through these cards, really pay attention to the colors. The colors are all we have really nice soft pinks and purples with these three archangels. So lots of self-love, lots of uh, our inner wisdom speaking, but in a really loving and gentle way, and lots of heart, throat chakra opening. So, hope is the word that I got was wholeness with her. You know, the world is fragmented because we are fragmented. This is really all about acceptance of self. This is really bringing all those parts of yourselves that you've pushed away and becoming whole. When you're whole, you create from a place of power and strength. There is no need to push or force or be worried or doubt or anything like this. You're from a very deep place of strength and power within yourself, and things just flow. So interesting, I was seeing my chiropractor on Monday, and we were actually talking about this. And my chiropractor, Amy, brought up, she's like, I've just been thinking that, like, I do this heal. She didn't say it exactly like this, but paraphrasing here. But um, she had this realization that with all the work that she'd been doing in her own healing, she realized she's like, it's okay just how I am. It's okay that I feel or I'm like this. I'm just like I don't need to do the work. Like I can accept who I am completely. And that was beautiful. That was perfect because being whole, we have to remember why we're here. We're here to experience, and we are here to experience the ego. We are here to experience anger. We are here to experience jealousy and envy. We are here to experience the feeling of shame, which is an awful feeling, but that is part of our experience. We are here to experience fear. Um, we are here to experience negativity as well as positivity. They're just experiences, but they're not like they're us, but they're not us in a way. They teach us something about ourselves, but it's about the experience. But ourselves were perfect. And I feel like I'm not explaining. I want to explain this a little bit better or deeper for you guys. So I may have given you this story before too, but I'm going to say it again because it was rather an awakening for me within this. So years ago, I was taking a course with this lady. It was on Egyptian mythology, the gods and goddesses. And she was telling us the story of the goddess Sekhmet, which is the fiery goddess, lion head goddess, Egyptian goddess, and love Sekhmet. She's lovely. And a segment really shows different aspects of ourselves because she is this very passionate, creative God. She is also very motherly and nurturing and lots of wisdom, and you can work with her with that. But then Sekhmet has a violent side to her, and I really mean violent. So there is a story where the god Ra was disgusted with the how humanity was acting, and he sent Sekhmet down to deal with humanity, and she started to kill everybody. Like, she was violent, she was nasty, and she went into a complete rage, and she was killing everybody. And the gods were like, oops, you need to stop. But she wouldn't stop. So they filled the Nile with, there's different parts. This story can be a little bit different, but either they filled the Nile with red wine or beer, not sure, but it was alcohol. And she needed so the goddess Segment was thirsty because she's in this rage and just explosive, And so she's thirsty. So she goes to the Nile and she drinks all the alcohol, whether it was wine or beer. Maybe I can't remember. And it knocks her out. She falls asleep. So it causes her to calm down and stop. So I'm listening to this story because at this time I was having a lot of mental stuff going on. And mental stuff with like, why am I being so negative? And why do I like judge this or judge that? And I was being really hard on myself with my mental body. And I listened to this story and it suddenly clicked for me. I'm like, wait a minute. If this goddess is like can be this beautiful, nurturing, loving, compassionate, um, creative, passionate being, but then she has this complete violent side to herself. I'm like, why am I fighting myself so much? Like, I'm not violent. I'm not saying that. I don't want to kill or hurt anybody. But the point more was like, it was okay. It's okay to be negative sometimes. It's okay to be like, yeah, judgmental. We're all judgmental, or can be. We don't want to always be judgmental, but it's okay. Like I can give myself permission to relax about it. It's not such a big deal that I'm trying to force or control my thoughts. And as soon as I did that, everything calmed down. Like mentally, like it wasn't there anymore. The negativity, the judge, all of that, just I didn't have to control everything. And it's because I accepted that this is a possibility of myself, that I accepted that, yeah, sometimes you are negative. Sometimes you can be judgmental, but forgive yourself. It's okay. It's part of the experience here. You're not a bad person. You don't need to be perfect in that way. You don't need to control that. And as soon as I did that, like it just all sort of went away. And I was like, oh, and mentally, I've been so much more balanced since. So this is what I feel that Archangel Hope is speaking to us about in being like, it's okay. It's okay. You can accept all these parts and aspects of yourself. You know, it's all right. It's about being maybe the observer and being like, this is an experience. How did I like this experience? Some experiences are great, some are good, some are not, some are neutral, and that's all right. So, and again, as we start to accept these parts of ourselves, we are trusting these parts of ourselves. We are trusting ourselves that we are okay as we are. We are trusting that this is normal, that this is part of the experience, that there's nothing wrong with you, that you are perfect in your own way and perfect in the experiences as they are. So, this wholeness and coming together, leaving, no longer fragmenting ourselves by pushing aspects of ourselves away. Really, again, trust is a big factor with this too. Big factor or big part. Okay, let us. So our next archangel is Archangel Charity, and I'll give you a moment or two to connect with her. So I'd just like to point out, we went from the Archangel Hope, where we had this beautiful light at the heart chakra. Now we come to Archangel Charity, who that light at the heart has turned into this beautiful dove, and we have this beautiful rose at the throat chakra. And this for me is coming into that wholeness. coming into that place of ease and just relaxing and being within yourself. And as you come into this wholeness and start to trust yourself, you find peace. There's just this peace and balance within the heart chakra. And you can simply just naturally, without needing to think and be like concerned about the words and how you express yourself, you can just naturally, with ease, express the truth from your heart. And usually, this truth that comes from our heart that we express, our words and our statements usually our statements become much shorter. They can tend to be just simply a couple of words where they're soft and loving, but very, very clear and truthful. But it comes with ease and just a feeling at this balance at the heart. And also, there's really no care in how the other person responds, because it doesn't really matter about how the other person responds. It's more important that you have spoken or expressed your truth. And it's a little bit like you express it and you're like, oh, that was beautiful. That was perfect. And you're more focused on that feeling of, wow, that was a really nice feeling of balance and a really nice way of expressing my truth. And you're more focused in that, and you just simply walk away. So you don't even really pay attention to how that person is responding, because it's really none of our business how that person responds. We've really been taken out of that place of speaking and expressing our truth, and are more concerned about how are those people responding to me. And really, that's none of our business. It's more about being within yourself and being within the experience of yourself, and how your experience of who you are and your truth and how you express and do things is way more important and more has you more involved within your energy of what you're doing than really paying attention to anybody else out there. And that may seem almost selfish. That could seem selfish, but if that comes up within yourself or in your mind as I'm speaking or as you're thinking on this or feeling this out, I would say to you, that's programming, that's conditioning, that's not truth, that's not integrity within your own self. That's not being honest within yourself. And again, that's not trusting you. That's not trusting who you are and how you express who you are to people and the world. And so this one just really, yeah, I really feel strongly the peace and the balance within her, within this archangel. And you can notice the butterflies around her on either side, because again, even around her ears, she's hearing the beauty of her own energy, of her expression, of her creating peace and balance within herself. And therefore, those butterflies are transforming, helping her to create all of that beauty and peace and balance around her and outside of her. Yeah, I love this card. This is a very nice one. I really went off from my notes, I think, but maybe not. I started getting more information as I was speaking with you guys. Yeah. Yes, transformation takes place as we are trusting more, we're more in ourselves. We said that. Okay. And the last point, you can now better help and support others because as you're in yourself and you're in alignment, you're finding this balance and peace and ease within yourself and expression. And that translates into manifestation and transformation around you. Again, your energy touches on other people's energy fields. Your energy vibration affects the vibration of other people's energy fields. Just as somebody who's in a very negative, dark place can really affect you and your energy field. It doesn't feel good. You know this. Most of you have experienced this. But if you haven't, think on it because you have. um, just turn on the news. That will affect energy you feel. You know, you can be really, really happy and up here and then poof, come down here and feel really awful and depressed and not good at all. So we know that other ways of interacting with people, their words, their states of being affects our vibration. So then you know when you work on this, when you're doing this and you're in that beautiful place of alignment and trust and peace and love within yourself and acceptance, self-love, acceptance is self-love, then that vibration in your energy field touches and affects other people, just as your words do, but your energy field, you actually don't have to say anything. And this is what helps and supports other people in shifting and changing. And something's coming into my head right now about being triggered. So this is interesting. I have had clients come to me. It's very interesting. I've had clients come to me who I do Reiki on, and they leave feeling great and in a really high place of vibration because Reiki is very healing, very love. It's all love from source, from God, from spirit. Yeah, it fills you, it surrounds you, it brings you into a beautiful balance of peace and feeling protected. Really, really nice. If you haven't had a Reiki treatment, I would highly suggest it. Um, but it's a lovely energy. I like to see Reiki. I sort of say to my clients, Reiki is sort of the divine feminine of healing, whereas, you know, different vibrations can be a little bit more overwhelming or stronger. I always sort of see that as a little bit towards the divine masculine energy of healing, but that's just my own thing and how I see it. Other people may not agree, but that's okay. But going back to the triggering, so I've had people where I've worked on the Reiki energy with, and they've come back to me and they said they've gone home and people in the house have been triggered and have reacted sort of in an angry way towards them. And it's shaken them. And they're like, every time I have Reiki and I go home, this is what occurs. It's a pattern to them. They've started to see it. And it was very interesting. So, you know, other people may have their own, you know, insight into this, but my thinking on this is like, wow, those people are being triggered. Not only are they being triggered, but we all have free will. These people are also making a choice, probably unconscious choice within themselves that they don't want to change, that they don't want to accept the love, this beautiful high vibrational love of self, of source, of spirit, and they don't believe that they're worthy of it or deserving of it. And it comes at them because, you know, the person they live with walks into the house surrounded and filled in this beautiful, lovely vibrational energy. And they are immediately like, oh my gosh, I can't accept this. I don't deserve this. I'm not worthy for this. And so they react in an angry way. And that can be difficult. That can be sometimes difficult to work with, especially if you live with them. But also understanding and being aware of this is why this person is being triggered. And if whether you live with people who are like this or not, or you come into contact with people in the outside world who react to you in this way, it's very, very important to have strong boundaries within yourself and know why this is occurring and that you're safe and you're fine. But it's unfortunate that this person is in such a dark place that they can't take the opportunity to take in this beautiful energy of love, that they don't love themselves, that they don't think they're deserving or worthy of it. And that's sad. That's unfortunate. And all you can do is be like, okay, well, I respect that this is the space of energy and experience you want to live and be in, but I'm not lowering my vibration because you don't think you're worthy or deserving of it. So I'm going to have to walk away here. And again, that's within each of us, we have to make that decision for us depending on that person or situation. Okay, I felt that was important to bring in. Okay, let's go to our third archangel, Archangel Amethyst, and I'll give you a moment or two to connect. Once more, like I said, we have all these beautiful, like gentle pinks and purples today, with lots of light. Just, yeah, really, really taking in lots of light here. Now, Archangel Amethyst to me really speaks. I was really drawn to her hands. Speaking of Reiki, yeah, the hands really call to me. And as you all know, or most of you know that or aware, I started out and I still do practice massage therapy. I do a lot of Reiki energy treatments. And so the hands are just so important to me. And if you're not aware of the hands, the arms are an extension of our heart chakra. So the energy of our heart chakra moves through the chest, through the shoulders, down our arms and out our hands. And if you think about it, we touch, our loved ones with our hands. We place them on our loved one's face to give them a kiss or, on their shoulders to give a squeeze or hugs. It's all about the arms and the hands of this beautiful, gentle, loving energy from the heart chakra. Just as we know with people who have their heart chakras shut down and they don't feel like they deserve love or unworthy of love, they become angry and almost they can unfortunately get to the place of even violent, that they use their arms and hands in a very negative, destructive way. And that really tells us where that person is, and how they're nurturing and taking care of themselves and how they receive love or they refuse to. So just looking at how the person, if you're meeting somebody, let's say for the first time, how they use their arms and hands, how they gesture and move. Is it in a very loving, gentle way? Or is there an aggressiveness to it? That tells you a lot. If you're not intuitively picking up with their energy field, and you are still working and developing your intuition, this is a way physically, like externally that you can see that. Yeah, notice that, like just around you. It's interesting. So coming into my focusing on her hands, I was really feeling that we have her creating with our hands or working energy, moving it to create and manifest. She is really high vibrational to me, like this Archangel Amethyst. So I just get such strength from her. It's a soft strength, but it's a deeper strength. I don't know how to express that. Um, but just looking into her eyes, she's so focused. She's so like, I'm creating this. And she's so, her being is just, yeah, it's just so powerful and big. She encompasses everything and she creates in a very strong center. I think that's where I feel like what I need to say there. It's a very strong centeredness within her, and things just simply flow. And again, that bright light from heart chakra into the throat, that expressing truth, expressing love, it's just a really strong. So understand, I feel like Archangel Amethyst is helping us to deeper our awareness of how to manifest and create from the heart and the throat chakra in a place of complete trust, confidence, wholeness, and working with your energy, really being one within. Yeah, and the last point I have here is you don't need to be perfect to be creating from your power. Oh, yes, this came up at the end when I was doing this. So I want to say very clearly here for all of you, I know we're all in different places, working on ourselves, becoming more whole, and deepening our trust and awareness. And I want to be really clear that you don't need to be, it's okay to not completely be quite in your wholeness yet. It's okay if you're still working on trust issues or healing any wounds within yourself. You can still create and manifest from a loving place. If it's done from a place of honesty and truth within yourself, you can still create and manifest that beautiful, perfect life that you would like to see for yourself. You don't need to keep pushing or struggling to quickly or find ways to heal yourself. Don't put that pressure on yourself. It's okay. Because within your creating and manifesting, you're going to have stuff that comes up that does show you that you're a bit out of balance or does bring up a wound that you haven't quite healed or you didn't realize. And that is okay. That is part of your experience. You can do it as you flow within your manifestations and creations. And if you do find that some things are out of balance, that you need to basically pull back a little bit, take some time to work on, heal, balance, and then continue on. So that just sort of jumped into my mind too yesterday. So maybe some of you, if you have that in your head, yeah, no worries, no worries.